YouTube. We are back with another lesson. And for today's lesson, I'm about to show and explain you guys why and how I don't use a stop loss. Yes, I do not use a stop loss. I go against what all the YouTube gurus are saying because it didn't work for me. It didn't work. And what I've come to realize is most of us retail traders, we come online on YouTube taking this advice blindly from traders who probably don't even know what they're doing. They probably don't even know what they're doing. Cause the thing is, I looked at the statistics. 90% of traders are failing. 85% of traders are failing. So if 85% of traders are failing, but 85% of traders are using a stop loss, it just didn't make sense to me. How am I gonna do what everybody else is doing and still succeed at this game? And I wanted to succeed bad, bad, bro. I've been failing for years. I've been failing at trading for years. For years. I'm about 4 years in. 2.5, almost 3 of those years, 2.5 ish something years, I was failing. I was trading wins, trading losses, trading wins, trading losses. I'm winning, then I'm losing. I'm winning, and I had an edge. I had an edge. You know what I'm saying? Well, apparently it wasn't an edge because I was trading the money back and forth. But that's what I was taught. I'm looking at the YouTube gurus. I bought courses. I did everything I thought I was supposed to do, but it still wasn't working. It still wasn't working. So now you know what I said? Man, I said screw those stop losses, man. Screw those. I don't want them no more. They messing me up. So I'm done ranting. Let me just show y'all guys exactly what I mean. Let's get to it. All right, boys. So here, this is a current trade of mine, and yes, you do see a stop loss, but that's a stop loss in profit. It's not a real stop loss. But I'm about to explain to you guys what would I do if this trade went against me, because a lot of the times the trade will go against you because you can't time it perfect. At least not me. Maybe there is some guru out there who's special who can time their entries perfectly every time, but it's not me, bro. It's not me. So I need to do something that caters to my personality. So this stop loss is not a thing. So dang, and I messed up the what I insert like right up here. Um, so if this trade happened to go against me, right, I would have added. I would have added right here. I would have added probably somewhere down here, and I would have added probably somewhere down here. And now you might be thinking, yo, what the? This guy isn't a trader. He's a gambler. What type of degenerate actions is this? You're a degenerate, bro. You don't make no money in these markets. Well, that's false. The thing is, this drawdown right here, how much drawdown would this be? This little 400 measly pips is nothing because I manage my risk appropriately. I want you to write this down. If you're a serious trader, write this down right now. Even I have it written down. Stop losses do not limit risk. Let me type it for y'all. Stop losses do not limit risk. Okay? I want you guys to understand that. Stop losses do not limit risk, okay? So what that means is you can have a stop loss and stop your way out to a blown account. It don't mean nothing because what matters is your position sizing and how do you manage yourself when you're in that position. Because the thing is, I'm not going to get too deep into it in this video, but I analyze economies. I look at it from a macro perspective. I'm looking at interest rates. I'm looking at monetary policy. I'm looking at how inflation is going. I'm literally trading economies off of one another. So I'm playing it like a game. I'm playing it like a literal game. So if I see the Australian dollar is having positive news, and I actually have a software that I use, but I'm not going to get too deep into it in this video, but I have a software that I use where I can analyze everything in one platform. So I get to see what's going on with the Australian dollar, the Canadian dollar, the US dollar, the New Zealand dollar, etc. And if I have a positive Australian dollar and a weak Canadian dollar, I know if it doesn't go up instantly, I'm going to get a turnaround. It might not be now, it might be a week from now, but I know that turnaround is coming. I hope that makes sense. So that's why I dollar cost average. I know I'm going to get a bounce, and this right here, all this is low risk for me. It's low risk because I manage my size appropriately. And if a black swan event were to happen, because a lot of people ask me this, if the rare case of 1%, which I'm not really worried about, the 1% chance a black swan event happens and it just goes down how whatever many pips, for one, that would be okay because if it's shooting down on me, I'm not just gonna keep adding if it's shooting down on me. I'm still reading market structure. I'm still analyzing the technical aspect of it. I'm using both. I'm combining both into my own approach. So all I'm doing is managing my capital in a position. I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't make sense and you're watching this, comment below so I can make more videos to explain it. Well, I actually already am, so don't even worry about it. But if there's something specific that you're not understanding, let me know so I can go deeper into that. Because the way I've been developing this strategy for some time now. So it's very intuitive. It's very subjective, if you get what I'm saying. But so let's say I have a point 10, right? A point 10. I add my first entry, a point 10. I have my second entry. I have my second entry, another point 10. You know what that does? Here, let me delete these real quick. So what that does is it makes my new break even point between these two entries. So that means if I have my first entry up here and my second entry right here, it means my break even point is going to now be right here in the middle. What? I thought this was red. Does that make sense? If I enter trades from two different levels, I'm going to have a median level. So even if I get a bounce, so if it goes against me, I add and I finally get that bounce, now I'm just making more money. I'm just making more money. And same thing, if it goes deeper against me, I'll add again and my break even price is going to come down lower. It's going to come down lower. And if bad Canadian news comes out and I'm not liking what's going on, guess what? It can keep going down against me. It can keep going down against me, and I'm just not going to add yet until I feel it makes sense. It's all a subjective game. It's all just reading market structure, reading fundamentals, and analyzing it from your own experience and intuition. That's really all it is. And drawdown shouldn't scare you at all because you're going to manage risk appropriately relative to your account. For example, I cap myself at -5. That if I add so many positions, right, and it goes all the way against me, just down to the ground. If I get to -5,000, if I get to -$5,000 in my account, I don't trade prop firms. I trade live. I will look to start scaling out my position. More on that later. But all I want to do was give you guys a summary and explain how I trade with no stop loss. I'm a dollar cost averaging trader, and it has worked for me and gave me consistent profits month over month over month over month. Some months will be slower, and that's okay. That's the game. You got to take the pros with the cons with these strategies, bro. Take the pros with the cons. But all I can say is I've used a stop loss. I went through that pain. I've learned all terms, all strategies, and I've stuck with them. Stuck with them. They say stick with a strategy for at least 6 months. I've stuck with all these strategies for at least 6 months, and I was still losing. But guess what? Dollar cost averaging, removing my stop loss, I haven't lost since. So what does that mean? It means it's actually working. Why weren't these other strategies working like this? But this one is. So if you're having issues trading in these markets, issues finding profitability, I highly recommend you go to this approach right here. I'll make more videos on this topic. I'm going to be pushing out videos every day or two, so stay tuned. And yeah, man, I hope y'all got some insightful information from this, and I'm going to catch y'all in the next lesson. Let's go.